Families of the 7 persons killed at Manso-Nkwanta 4 months ago say the police should not be allowed to prepare the docket based on which 21 of its men indicted for the killings will be prosecuted. The police had alleged the deceased were armed robbers who engaged them in a gun battle until they were brought down. They even displayed weapons used by the victims. But a committee which was set up by government to investigate the incident says there's no evidence to back the claims of the police. Komladum has more.
Please, out of the 7, why can't you arrest one? Shoot him where he can run. If you shoot him where he can run, then you arrest him. Try to find out, okay, now, if they are armed robbers, if there are more armed robbers there, would they know?
We are calling upon authorities and meaningful Ghanaians that the selective administration of justice on Zongo people is getting too far. So they have been part of the MPP security in Ashanti region. They were never armed robbers. As I'm speaking to you right now, my brother, who happens to be Pat, Musa Garden boy, is having 6 children and a widow wife. Who is going to take care of these 6 children and this widow wife?
Relatives of 7 residents of Manso-Nkwanta in the Ashanti region react to the killing of their kinsmen by police in July this year. The 7, according to police, were part of a robbery syndicate that killed a police corporal the week before.
They are killing us, brothers. This is not the first time and this is not the second time. That they will not pass freely inside Zongo anywhere for us to leave them in peace. If anything happens, we want to retaliate. Anytime any policeman is passing somewhere, he has to know that his life is also his risk.
Ashanti Region Police Commander DCOP Kwesi Mensah-Duku held a news conference a day after the incident where a number of weapons, including assault rifles and AK-47s, were displayed as those supposedly used by the 7 during the shootout with police.
Further intelligence gathered indicated that it was the same group that attacked a commercial sprinter bus and killed the police officer and wounded one other on Wednesday, 11 July 2018, and took away the 2 service rifles. Exhibit Toyota Corolla car with registration number BA 29515. 2 pump action guns and 1 AK assault rifle with 2 magazines and 2 locally made pistols, 1 unregistered motorbike, and 4 mobile phones have been retained to assist investigation. They are there.
The police will not take questions from journalists at the event after their address. A firm position, the 7 were armed robbers. But residents, the DCE for the area, Zongo chiefs, and member of parliament for the area who knew the deceased refuted the claims by police.
I wasn't at Manso-Nkwanta, but the people I know, with the pictures that I see, I can bear my chest out and say they are not armed robbers. 30 minutes after the incident, I said it clear.
A government delegation to the area following the incident was met by angry youth who chased out the IGP and the other ministers and threatened to burn down some public facilities in the area. Some of the families have laid their deceased to rest in anticipation that justice will be served. Autopsy reports, according to the Association of Zongo Chiefs, reveal the 7 were shot multiple times. The cries of the relatives of the deceased and the residents were heeded as an independent committee was set up to probe the killings. After more than a month of investigations, the 5-member committee submitted its report to the presidency, in which it was revealed there was no evidence to suggest the 7 were robbers and never exchanged gunfire with the police.
Today I feel very vindicated, and it has come to also explain itself. A whole number of people went before the committee to go and testify. After all, today we feel vindicated that they were not armed robbers, and nothing shows that they were armed robbers.
Government, per the recommendations of the committee, directed the interdiction of the 21 police officers who were involved in the killing. That hurdle also crossed. Now there are calls for the full report to be made public as relatives of the deceased and other stakeholders remain in the dark over the full content of a report. Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak is Member of Parliament for Aswase.
I'm told that some of the police said they have also cited part of the report. The government has altered what the committee has done. I think that this further, justify what I keep telling government, that put this report publicly so that all of us have the opportunity, everybody who may want to read the report.
Commissioner at SRAJ, Joseph Whittal, believes the families of a deceased could trigger an action at the Commission in this regard to demand the publication of a report.
The right is actually in getting the states to either to come out with a report clarifying whether the allegations are capable of proceeding to court for any trial or what actually is the outcome. To be frank with you, it is always possible for the relations to call upon trial to ensure that the police are transparent in terms of releasing the reports for them to know. That one is critical.
There are calls for the 21 policemen interdicted over the killings to be prosecuted, while families of the deceased are paid appropriate compensation packages.
We believe that government should not delay and should not waste further time. I think that they have to go straight to start the prosecution. Yes, the interdiction is a starting point, but government itself, through the Attorney General, must start the prosecution of the police.
It appears the call for prosecution may not yield any immediate results because the Attorney General's office has not received a docket on the matter, and guess where from? The same police. Here's Deputy Attorney General Joseph Deddiok-Benka.
If it has to be prosecuted, there has to be a docket built by the police through any investigating body, BNI or police, properly built and forwarded to us for action to be taken. And you see, this is a matter that I'm not discussing the merits, but you know that in murder cases, the standard of proof is so high. Yeah. You may have to get people who come and then say that I saw policeman A shoot at this person and all that. You have to give, because 7 people died. And if there were 21 police officers involved, they may have been shot by 7 people, or less, or more. So all those pieces of evidence will have to be gathered before same is built into a duplicate docket and forwarded to the Attorney General's Department.
Is this perhaps the time for calls for the establishment of an independent body to investigate all complaints against the police to be heeded? Well, maybe. Commissioner of SRAJ, Joseph Whittal, believes it's long overdue.
The Commission in the past had pushed for an independent body that should investigate all complaints against the police itself. These are the matters that would expose the need for the country to wake up from its slumber. Because the police are getting away with so much murder, and we don't do anything about it. An independent body that can investigate police misconduct, independent of the police, is what is called for. We are talking about an independent police complaint commission, which actually has to be independent, then that's the independent of both arms of government, especially the executive.
And families of a deceased agree. They have simply, in their own words, lost trust in the police to do any thorough probe. Prince Akuta is one of them.
We want these 21 policemen that are going to be interdicted to be public, show their pictures, their numbers, and everything. And after the investigation, we want the independent body to investigate the thing. We want the independent body, either BNI or any independent, because we are accusing the police, and the police is going to investigate the matter. I think we are not going to get the justice that we want. So we want the independent body to investigate the matter. It will be easy for us and the government and the family to give pressure to the president to make an independent body to investigate. We don't have trust in the police administration. Okay. We don't trust them.
While we wait for some action on the 21 interdicted officers and a possible prosecution, or maybe not, Ashanti Region Police Commander DCOP Kwesi Bensaduku is in some trouble. Managing editor of a new Crusading Guide newspaper, Abdul Malik Kwekubako, is asking questions of DCOP Duku.
Police Commander, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Kwesi Duku, at a news conference displayed 7 boxes with each containing 25 rounds of ammunition, 88 pieces of ammunition of AK-47 assault rifles, and some clothes that were retrieved from the suspected armed robbers. This is from the police.
Yeah. When it happened.
When it happened. Wow. I don't know the gentleman. But I think he's in real big trouble. He presented this to all of us. I remember we discussed it here. And they said there were exchanges. So we even said, well, forensic examination of the scene could tell if there were indeed bullets from here to there. I really, Well, maybe I shouldn't jump the gun, but he told us this story. He should help us in determining where these things came from. So did the police bring this from their own custody and presented it as belonging to the so-called armed robbers?
For now, it is hope beyond hope for the families to get justice. A commitment by government to ensure this is served. And of course, a caution to the police and other security agencies by the Defense Minister, Dominic Nitiwo, against abusing the rights of citizens in the discharge of their duties.
In the discharge of your duties and responsibilities, kindly ensure that you always cooperate within the remits of your rules of engagement. This is to remove the areas of backlash that the military as well as other security services receive as a result of acts of indiscretion by a few people amongst you.
This is certainly a test case.